I'm going to try and pull the mic away when I take sips of my coffee because I don't know if anybody wants to hear that. But good morning. It is Sunday, the 21st of July, and it is bump day for the kid. So we don't have the fighting necklace on quite yet, but we will soon. And I'm treating this as kind of like a solo podcast. And I think that that's what this is going to be as far as the email list, because what I have right now is a dichotomy to where I have so many ideas that I want to put into writing, and maybe I'll just transcribe this and release it, who knows. But I want to make sure that I can get these ideas out, and when I verbalize them on the front end, it makes it easier for me to kind of expand and make sure I get all the points. When I obviously write them down, I can get a little bit more detailed, but I think that sometimes hearing it first in my own words makes it easier for me to just get them down. And so I think what I'll do is I will record this and then transcribe it. So I'll have a version that is in writing if you just want to read the writing. And then I'll additionally have this video version. So today, I wanted to talk about a few things, and being that it is an outing day for me, I think this first one is appropriate. There's a couple things that I've been talking to the athletes that I have the opportunity to work with about, and I wanted to make sure that other people could hear this as well, because after one conversation that I had with one of my athletes, he was like, "Wow, dude, that was really helpful. I like that. Like, I hope you were recording that." And I was like, "Damn, I should have recorded that." So I'm going to do that right now and try and replicate the conversation as best I can. The conversation that we had was relating to the focus. So I'll give you the backstory. Essentially, this athlete is in the transfer portal, and they had a coach from a school that they really wanted to go to come and watch them pitch. And he was throwing great in all of his outings, was dominating, for lack of a better word. And in this particular outing, because he knew that the coach was coming to watch him, whether it was at the front of his mind or not, he didn't throw very well. And he kept saying, "Oh, well, I'm going back to, just my cues internally and just like my focuses, and routine stayed the same." But in the back of his mind, he still had the thought of the coach being there. And that affected his ability to just go out there and execute. And so as we kind of talked a little bit, I think the thing that gets lost with development and the portal and pitchers in general, because they believe, and to a certain extent it's true, they believe that their own performance is the only thing that matters. And they think that, with all the statistics and data and everything that they have access to, and things that ultimately allow for coaches to make decisions and scouts to make decisions, it's a very selfish role. And it should be, again, to a certain extent. But the only goal when you're a pitcher is to help your team win the game. That's it. That is it. And I think that you focus so much, if you're in this development space, on optimizations and physical attributes and statistics, that you lose sight of that. The goal is not to throw the hardest. The goal is not to throw the nastiest pitches. The goal is not to have the lowest ERA or the lowest whip or the lowest WOBA or whatever. The goal should be to help your team win the game. And the stats come as a proxy of that. They come as a byproduct of you focusing on doing whatever it takes to help your team win the game. So how do you do that? You throw strikes. You make competitive pitches, competitive at-bats. You give yourself the opportunity to get the guy out that you're facing currently. That's it. When the guy steps into the box, your goal should be to get him out. Are strikeouts nice? Yeah. Limits the pressure on your defense. Just eliminates the opportunity for other things to happen, errors, weird plays when the ball gets put into play, things like that. But it's just outs, man. 9-inning game, you got 27 of them. And if you get 27 outs and they don't score runs, chances are you're going to win. Granted that your offense is able to score at least a run. More runs, higher chance of winning, right? But if you find yourself caught up in statistics or mechanics or how you're feeling that day, just distill it back and bring yourself back to the simple focus of gamifying the situation, because that's what it is at the end of the day. It's a game. This is not war. This is not politics. You're trying to help your team win the game. And depending on how many guys you have on the roster, there could be 35, 34, 20, 15, however many guys relying on you in that situation to giving your team the best chance to win. And so doing that takes the focus, I think, off of yourself and places it onto the collective achievement metric, the collective goal of the group. And it's a lot more fun to win than it is to lose. I personally hate losing. It was a big factor for me in my college decision. I've played on losing teams. I've played on winning teams. And I can honestly say, when I had a lesser role on the winning teams, it was a lot more fun than having a massive role in the losing teams, because the energy level raises and the morale raises and the mood raises. It's just more fun. It incentivizes you to want to go out there and play hard because you know what winning feels like. When you don't know what winning feels like consistently, finger pointing happens, blame happens, people lose interest. It's a big reason why people are in the portal. They play on losing teams. They want to go play for a winning team. And so I challenge you this week to focus on, if you're struggling with your own performance, I challenge you to take this mindset into account and do whatever it takes, not only on your outing days, but on the days you're not pitching, on what can I do today to help my team win the game? And if that's an outing day, that's making competitive pitches, that's staying in the zone, that's working with whatever you got that day. Maybe you don't have a pitch. Maybe you don't have 2 pitches. Find something that works. Find something that works that's going to allow for you to get outs. That's it. Get outs. Prevent them from scoring runs. Gamify the situation. If it's not your outing day, maybe that's helping a pitcher warm up in the bullpen. Maybe that's tracking something in the dugout. Maybe that's stealing signs. Whatever it is, make it a game. Don't waste your time. Don't treat it as like, oh, I'm not playing today. I'm just going to dick around. What fun is that? Why are you there? Yeah, it's fun to hang out with guys and play Mafia on the bus and all that stuff. And you could still do that. But when the first pitch is thrown, it's time to work. It's time to help your team win however you can. So I think that's kind of the simplicity of it. We could talk about this for an hour, and obviously if there's questions, I want to hear them, but that's that topic. The second thing